price willing to pay. Needles full of futures, humanity astray, rewriting codes with chemical precision, trading in their birthright for an engineered vision. Some seek the sanctioned serum, approved and pure. Others chase the underground for something more allure. Watch them walk among us with their altered grace, perfect symmetry etched into every face. Minds that process faster, bodies built to last. They're shedding human limits like a second skin they've cast. But something in their eyes seems distant cold, as if the price of perfection is a story left untold. They speak of evolution, of the natural next step, while baseline humans watch with envy and regret. Why settle for decay when you can be remade? Beware the whisper of the price that must be paid. Discrimination cuts in both directions now, the enhanced and the natural, neither will bow. We are the divergence, breaking from the mold, trading flesh for function, worn for cold. Beautiful and brilliant, distant and divine. We are the ideal. We've crossed the line. The future wears our faces, perfected and refined. But what did we abandon when we left ourselves behind? Some regret the changes when the night grows long, when synthetic dopamine can't recall the song. Some wonder, what is the toll? The will to reject humanity clashes with the soul. Most look to new worlds with desire. Some find exotic alterations to fuel their fire. We are the divergence, breaking from the mold, trading flesh for function, warm for cold. Beautiful and brilliant, distant and divine. We are the ideal. We've crossed the line. The future wears our faces, perfected and refined. But what did we abandon when we left ourselves behind? The body is healthy, but the soul is sore. What is human anyway? What were we before? muscles unused, too weak to command. They live in pods until an untimely death. The machines breathe for them, regulating each breath. Spines curve like questions that never get asked, while neural implants keep their minds sharp and fast. The exoskeletons hiss as they lock into place, hydraulic assistance for the human race. Outside the chambers they walk through the streets, powered by servos and mechanical feet. But the poor ones make do with a second-hand frame, rusting and grinding, limping in shame. The atrophic so weary, the world they fear. Carbon fiber limbs and augmented gear, they jack into false reality every day. Their natural bodies withering away. Exoskeletons, mechanical assistants, in their pods they keep their distance. They are the atrophics, dependent and frail. Their bodies are prisons and technology's bail. They live in the mind while the flesh wastes away, trading autonomy for one more day. Connected to systems that keep them alive, mind in the matrix and living in a hive. Some remember the stories their ancestors told, of running through forests of bodies grown old, naturally, slowly, with dignity earned. Not the sudden collapse when the power cells burn. They're brilliant and fragile, smart but weak, with so much to say but no strength left to speak. They are the atrophics, dependent and frail. Their bodies are prisons and technology's bail. They live in the mind while the flesh wastes away, trading autonomy for one more day. Connected to systems that keep them alive, mind in the matrix and living in a hive. In the pods, dreaming of natural vitality, turning their backs to the world, existing in a false reality. their imperfections and accepted the pain. They'd rather suffer from endless stress and strain. So they tend to their gardens with calloused hands, while the modified world grows across the lands. No algorithms guide them, no circuits, no code. They navigate by starlight on a forgotten road. Their children die from illnesses cured long ago. Their elders suffer ailments the others don't know, but they gather around fires with stories to share of what it means to be human in an age that doesn't care. They're called backwards, primitive, obsolete, but they still feel the earth beneath their feet. They are the primitives, the ones left behind, holding on to something the past defined. Their bodies break and falter, but they accept their fate. Their beliefs are strong and they keep it straight. Pushed out from society, they try to fight back, but control of the future is what they lack. The cities view them as a problem to solve, a reminder of weakness they thought had evolved. How can they choose suffering when relief's in reach? How can they stay silent when progress could teach? But the primitives answer with dirt under nails, seeing progress as a prison that only derails. They know they're outmatched in every way that counts against superior power, impossible amounts. Strength and speed and lifespan they'll never attain, but they'd rather feel joy and would rather feel pain. They won't give in, they won't fall in line. The numbers are dwindling, they will all fade in time. They're called backwards, primitive, unrefined, but they still have something the others can't find. They are the primitives, the ones left behind, holding on to something the past defined. Their bodies break and falter, but they accept their fate. Their beliefs are strong and they keep it straight. Pushed out from society, they try to fight back, but control of the future is what they lack. In the soil meaning, in the scars proof, in the struggle human, in the choice truth. Their fires burn faint as the cities glow. They have everything with nothing and nowhere to go. Unmodified and unashamed, all the wrong in the world, technology blamed. rise in the construction bays. Titanium spines stretching toward distant days. Divergent engineers perfect every calculation, planning for a distant destination. Resources flow upward to the orbital fleet as the people below collapse in defeat. They're mapping distant planets with exotic names, terraform candidates for their genetic games. New worlds for the perfect, for the evolved elite, while the streets below them crumble in the heat. The Atrophics watch the launches from their failing pods, while the divergents ascend like self-appointed gods. The protocol is simple, stark and clear. The future leaves, the past stays here. Ascension protocol and final phase. The chosen ones prepare for launch days, leaving behind a world they bled dry, chasing perfection across the sky. They're abandoning the origin, the source, the seed, taking the resources, the things they need. The selection process started years before, genetic screening with the cognitive score. Only the enhanced receive the call, the Atrophics and primins don't qualify at all. The propaganda streams say there's not enough space for the weak, the natural, or any other race. Some Atrophics protest from their mechanical frames, while primitives rage at the colony names. New Terran paradise, Genesis Prime, as if leaving the broken was somehow divine. But the divergents don't hear the anger or pleas, they're too busy planning their cosmic destinies. The protocol is simple, stark and clear. The future leaves, the past stays here. Ascension protocol and final phase. The chosen ones prepare for launch days, leaving behind a world they bled dry, chasing perfection across the sky. They're abandoning the origin, the source, the seed, taking the resources, the things they need. In the towers, celebration. In the pods, desperation. In the forests, isolation. In the void, their destination. The countdown echoes through the stratosphere, as those below understand what's always been clear. They were never part of the plan, never meant to ascend, just fuel for the fire, a means to an end, while Earth grows darker in fading light. The divergence rise, with engines that burn bright. Atrophics decay alone. Their pod fluid hasn't been replaced in weeks. The life support system hisses, whines and leaks. The divergence took all the fuel and light, while the atrophic system shut down every night. The shops have closed their doors, can't afford the parts, nobody doing their chores, so they jury-rig the joints with salvage wire, praying the hydraulics don't lock on misfire. Each step is a risk, each movement a gamble, not much longer before a scramble. Every bit and scrap flows away, while the forgotten die a little more each day. Is this the price of being left behind, when the future forgets the struggling kind? Bodies too weak and no food is grown, dependent on systems they don't even own. The divergence ascending, the preeminence cast out, and the atrophics are dying, nothing to do but shout. And nobody will care when time moves on. The invisible suffer until they're all gone. Mother notices the walls turn red, warning lights flashing above a child's bed. The replacement fluid costs a year of pay. She holds her daughter's hand and tries to pray to gods that the divergence claim don't exist, but desperation doesn't care what the enlightened dismissed. Lined up in queue in the acid rain, atrophics are waiting for relief from pain. Hours pass as the supplies run low, they are turned away with nowhere to go. The triage nurse with dismay in her eyes decides in seconds who lives and who dies. Every bit and scrap flows away, while the forgotten die a little more each day. Explosions in the night, birds fill the sky, technology falls, but the children ask why. Demolish the new to make room for the old. Sever the signals, take back what was sold. Reclaim the future by bringing back the past. The divergents are gone, and the dice are recast. At night, speaking of the old ways, keeping traditions tight. But the younger ones are restless, staring at the glow of the empty cities where the divergents used to go. They ask questions that their parents don't want to hear, about the people and things they're supposed to fear. Say the cities are a technological curse, that touching anything divergent will only make things worse. Primitives survive by keeping themselves pure, but the young ones counter, how long can we endure? We're not trying to become them, we just want to learn. Why fear the tools when the masters won't return? The schism grows wider every day between the ones who go and the ones who stay. The old guard holds the line they've always drawn. The young generation questions if it's time to move on. Neither side is wrong, neither side is right, but the primitives are fracturing each and every night. prayers for the lost. In the city's youth willing to pay the cost. The tribe that once was whole now splits in two, and no one really knows which path is true. The divergence left them more than empty space. They left a question that the primitants must face. Without a sound, while the elders sleep in camps on sacred ground. They're drawn to the towers that reach into the night, to abandoned cities within the moonlight. The schism's grown too wide to fix or mend. Freedom comes alive, no need to pretend. They walk through streets where nothing moves. A desire awakens options to choose. Towers now silent within an eerie rest. Monuments to everything humans live to manifest. They find technology, but treat it with respect. Not worship or obsession, just curious intellect. Flesh and bone, walking through a world we've never known. One venture's deeper than the rest will go, into a tower where the systems still glow. Emergency power humming and faint, screens flicker with images stark and quaint. A message loops repeating endlessly from somewhere far beyond what the eye can see. The words are fractured, meanings unclear. Return or warning or don't come here. The divergence speaking from their distant shore, but are they coming back or closing the door? He tries to parse the static from the code as shadows fall across the empty road. The air hums, the sky goes dark at noon. Something's overhead, and it's not the moon. We thought we'd found our way, thought we understood, thought the future was ours, for bad or good. But the signal keeps repeating its uncertain call, while the shadow stretches over all. Are we being invited or warned to stay? The light is fading, slipping away. through the glass at something vast and cold. The message plays again, but now the story's old.